What if our understanding of history is completely wrong? What if the real story of human civilization has been hidden, actually buried beneath centuries of misconceptions? Across the globe, mysterious discoveries challenge everything we thought we knew. Ancient artwork depicts strange beings and advanced technologies, and forgotten texts hint at knowledge far ahead of its time. Graham Hancock believes that a lost civilization existed long before recorded history. In this video, we dive into discoveries that support this theory.
A whole alternative path of technology, and maybe that's a rediscovery of the kind of technologies that were used by a lost civilization.
Exploring the shocking evidence that suggests our ancestors may have known far more than we actually realize. Join us as we uncover the untold truth. In the forest of Chhattisgarh, India, a groundbreaking discovery was made in 2014 that challenged everything we knew about ancient art. Archaeologist J.R. Bhagat uncovered rock paintings in hidden caves that have since sparked intense debate in the world of archaeology. Unlike typical prehistoric art, which often depicts animals or daily life, these paintings portrayed strange figures wearing suits and helmets. The figures, with 3 fingers on each hand, had wide eyes and smooth grey faces, resembling modern depiction of extraterrestrials. What truly stunned experts was the presence of a flying object alongside these figures. The object was unlike anything seen in traditional ancient art, featuring fan-like antennas and 3 sturdy legs, almost resembling a UFO. Could this be an ancient artist's attempt to capture an alien encounter? Bhagat suggested that these early humans might have witnessed something beyond their comprehension, or perhaps they were imagining something they had never seen before. Regardless, it's difficult to ignore the possibility that these rock paintings represent a story far ahead of its time. This discovery raises intriguing questions. Were these ancient artists recording encounters with beings from another world? Or were these simply the fantastical versions of primitive minds? Graham Hancock argues that ancient art is more than just decoration. It serves as a form of cultural memory, preserving forgotten stories. Now, these paintings might be a glimpse into a lost memory, passed down through generations, waiting to just be rediscovered. Could they be a hidden message from the distant past, trying to reach us across the ages? Now, let's leave the caves of India and travel back even further. About 4,000 years ago, something incredible was written down in ancient Babylon. It was a story carved into a clay tablet that would later change how we, see history. In 2009, one of the world's top experts in ancient languages, Irving Finkel, got his hands on this forgotten piece of the past. People now call it the Simmons Tablet. This tablet tells the story of a great flood, not just any flood, but one that sounds very much like the flood we kind of know from the Bible. But here's the twist. This tablet came long before the Bible was written, and it wasn't the only one. Finkel compared it to other ancient texts like the Epic of Gilgamesh. He found something stunning. The measurements of the ark in these different stories were almost the same. The instructions were precise. The length of the rope, the size of the vessel, everything just added up. In the Simmons Tablet, the ark is a perfect circle. Now in the Bible, it's a long barge, but the volume almost identical. Across different times and cultures, the number remains the same, only a tiny difference of about 4%. So how is this possible? How could people separated by thousands of miles and years write the same story with the same details? Graham Hancock believes knowledge can survive in ways we don't understand. Just maybe, these tablets are proof of a shared memory, passed down from a lost civilization. Now let's look at something even more curious. You've probably seen pictures of Noah's Ark before, right? Most of us imagine a large wooden boat shaped like a long rectangle with animals crowded on deck. That's what the Bible describes too. A simple, long barge built to survive a massive flood. But here's the strange part. Many ancient artists painted something very different. Their arks were not rectangular at all. They were round. Yes, perfectly circular boats. This is odd because the idea of a round ark wasn't even known until Irving Finkel studied the Simmons Tablet in 2014. He proved that the ancient Babylons described the ark as a round coracle. But these artists painted circular arcs long before this discovery, so how did they know? No one had seen or talked about the round arc of the ancient world for thousands of years, yet somehow artists from the Middle Ages painted it just like the old text described it. It's almost as if they had access to a memory buried deep in time, a memory not written in books but passed down through pictures and imagination. Graham Hancock often talks about hidden knowledge carried across generations in ways we overlook. Maybe these artists were tapping into something forgotten. Maybe they were guided by echoes of the past, painting stories they never fully understood. When we look at their work today, it feels less like imagination and more like a message waiting to be heard. Now let's step into the shadows of deep prehistory. Far away in France, in Lascaux, lie some of the most breathtaking cave paintings ever discovered. These paintings are over 17,000 years old. They were found by accident in 1940, when a group of children and their dog stumbled upon them. What they found was not the work of simple, primitive people. It was something far more advanced. The paintings are rich with life. Herds of animals, bold colours and fine details fill the walls. But it's not just the beauty that surprises us, it's the skill. The artists who made these images were intelligent, creative and precise. They used techniques that rival modern art. Some even show animals that shouldn't have been in Ice Age Europe, like creatures that look oddly like kangaroos. This raises a strange question. Were these artists painting from imagination, or were they recording real creatures they had seen in faraway lands? These ancient people didn't live in the caves. They used them like galleries, as places to preserve their art for future generations. Graham Hancock believes art like this is not just decoration. It could be a way of carrying cultural memory across the ages. Perhaps through these paintings, our ancestors left clues from before the last great ice age. Messages that have survived for thousands of years, waiting for us to just looking at them, you can almost feel the story calling out. Now let's look at something that truly sparks the imagination. All over the world, ancient art shows figures that seem strangely familiar to us today. In the desert region of Tassili Niger in Algeria, rock paintings leave you speechless. They show beings with helmets, full suits and what looks like antennas sticking from their heads. Their gloves and suits look just like those of modern astronauts. But these paintings are thousands of years old. The same strange images appear in the caves in India. In the Rajasthan caves, there are pictures of flying objects and wormholes. One figure looks like an alien with large eyes and a slender body. Next to it, there are what appears to be a spacecraft. Dr. Khan has spent years studying these images. He believes they could show something far beyond our understanding of ancient life. It doesn't stop there. Even in famous paintings from the Middle Ages, like Carlo Crivelli's Annunciation, we see beams of light shining down from the sky onto Mary. At first glance, it looks like a divine scene, but when you look, the beam looks more like a direct energy beam, and the object in the sky looks oddly like a flying craft. Are these simply symbols of faith, or is it possible that memories of real encounters influence these artists? Graham Hancock often asks if ancient people recorded their experiences through art. Maybe, just maybe, these arts are windows into a forgotten past of human history. The deeper we look, the clearer the pattern becomes. It's not just one place or one culture. These strange images appear all over the world. In Guatemala, the National Museum holds statues of ancient figures wearing what looks like space helmets. Some even seem to have devices on their ears, like early versions of headsets or even Bluetooth devices. Go to Belgium and find the Summer Triumph tapestry from 1538. Look closely at the sky. You won't just see clouds, you'll see shapes that look like flying saucers. In yet another painting from 1710, we see the baptism of Jesus, but above him is something unexpected, a flying object beaming light onto the sea. These images are not part of official history. Most people are taught to see them as symbols, not facts. Maybe they are just artistic choices, or maybe their memories carried through time in paint and stone, when words were just not enough. Graham Hancock often says our ancestors were more advanced than we give them credit for. He believes their knowledge survived, not in textbooks, but in the patterns of our art and culture. Could these global images be proof? Proof that ancient people had contact with something or someone beyond our understanding? It's hard to ignore. Across ages, across continents, the same shapes and stories appear. Maybe, just maybe, our art is a message from the past, waiting for us to finally understand. What if these strange depictions are more than just imagination? Across time and culture, our ancestors left us clues. Figures in suits, flying objects, and beams of light. Graham Hancock urges us to question history. Perhaps hidden in plain sight are the remnants of a forgotten chapter, waiting to be uncovered.